Right now, somewhere out there, there's a person making a monthly payment on a credit card they opened 6 years ago. And the crazy part? They actually still owe more than they originally borrowed. Welcome to this explainer. Now, you might be thinking this is happening because of irresponsibility or because people are just simply bad with money. But honestly, it's not. It's because they were handed a product that is beautifully, dangerously, and perfectly engineered to ensure they never actually finish paying it off. Today, we're acting like a financial surgeon. We are going to quietly, precisely break down the debt trap and, more importantly, engineer your financial freedom. Let's get into it.
Listen, if you are carrying a balance month to month, I want to reassure you right from the start. Being in debt isn't some personal failure. That minimum payment, it's a cage. It's literally the result of a system doing exactly what it was designed to do, which is to keep you inside. Nobody tells you this when you sign up, but minimum payments are absolutely not designed to help you pay off debt. When a credit card company gives you a $35 minimum on a $2,000 balance, they aren't doing you a favor. They're just showing you the absolute smallest number they can legally collect each month, all while maximizing the total interest you're going to pay over your lifetime as their very profitable customer.
Let's look at the reality of this cage for a second. $9,000. Just drop that number in your mind. That is the amount of credit card debt carried by the average American household right now. It's a really heavy number, just sitting quietly in the background of millions of lives.
And here is where the math really starts to work aggressively against you. 22%. That's a pretty typical interest rate attached to that $9,000 balance. This right here is the engine of the trap. Because every single month you pay the minimum, you are not getting ahead. You are just treading water in an ocean that is slowly, steadily getting deeper.
25 years. Just let that sink in for a moment. If that average household makes only the minimum payment every single month on that 22% interest rate, it is going to take them more than 2.5 decades to pay it off. Think about where you're going to be in 25 years. That is basically an entire lifetime spent paying for the past.
And then comes the ultimate, devastating cost. 3 times. Over those 25 years, you won't just pay back that original $9,000. You are going to pay nearly 3 times the borrowed amount in interest alone. 25 years, 3 times the money, all for one single credit card. The system is functioning flawlessly, but only for the lender.
So let's move into part 1, the pathology, or really the neuroscience of debt.
It is absolutely crucial to understand why we fall into this trap. Let's diagnose what's actually happening inside your head when you interact with debt. If this were just a simple math problem, well, we'd all just solve it and pay it off faster, right? But staying stuck has everything to do with how our brains are actually wired. Take this completely fascinating finding from MIT. When you swipe a credit card, your brain does something remarkable. Or, really, it fails to do something. People are literally willing to spend up to 100% more for the exact same item when paying with a card instead of cash. Double the price. Why does that happen? Well, because handing over physical cash actually activates the insula cortex, which is your brain's pain center. You physically feel the loss. But swiping a little piece of plastic, that bypasses the pain center completely. The transaction feels completely frictionless. Your brain honestly registers it the same way it registers getting something for free. And believe me, the credit card industry has known this neuroscience for decades.
But it gets even more sinister once you actually carry a balance. We call this debt normalization. This is arguably one of the most dangerous forces in all of personal finance. It happens when debt stops feeling like a 5-alarm fire and instead just becomes a lived-in condition. You start treating it like a bad knee or noisy neighbors. You just adapt and you budget around it. And when this happens, debt normalization stops your brain from generating the urgent stress signals you desperately need to escape the trap. You don't fight it anymore because the urgency disappears. It simply stopped hurting enough to demand your attention.
And the hidden cost of that normalization? 13 IQ points. This is a terrifying statistic from a landmark study published in the journal Science. The constant mental burden of carrying debt actively drains your cognitive capacity by the equivalent of 13 IQ points. That is the exact difference between a really well-rested mind and a severely sleep-deprived one. You are literally thinking less clearly, you're making worse decisions, and you're generating fewer creative ideas about how to increase your income. Debt literally keeps you broke by hijacking your mental bandwidth.
All right, time for part 2, the treatment, the 5-step escape plan.
Okay, we know the diagnosis, so now it is time for the cure. You cannot passively exist in this system anymore, so we're laying out the complete 5-step method. This is the aggressive, life-saving treatment plan that actually works, both psychologically and mathematically. We start right here with step 1, the debt inventory. You need to write down every single balance, every interest rate, and every minimum payment all in one place. Do not hide from those envelopes anymore. Why? Because your brain handles known threats far more effectively than vague, unquantified dread. Just naming your debt precisely strips away a massive amount of its psychological power. When you see the full number for the first time, you actually won't feel fear. You're going to feel this immediate, galvanizing sense of control that comes from finally knowing the truth.
Step 2 is choosing your payoff method. Now, you've got the debt avalanche, which attacks the highest interest rate first. That's mathematical efficiency at its absolute finest. But then there's the debt snowball, which attacks the smallest balance first, and that generates massive emotional momentum. Fascinatingly enough, research from the Harvard Business Review found that people using the snowball method were significantly more likely to actually eliminate their debt entirely. Why is that? Because emotional early wins often completely trump pure mathematical logic. You got to know yourself here. Pick your weapon and attack.
Once you have your method, you move straight into step 3, automate. You have to outsmart your own willpower. The moment your plan relies on you actively choosing to do the right thing every single month, it is already vulnerable. You need to set up an automatic payment above the minimum on your target debt the exact same day your paycheck arrives. Do it before you even see the money. Listen, this isn't laziness. This is aggressively outsmarting the part of your brain that will inevitably find a reason to spend now and pay later. You have to protect your plan from yourself.
And to make sure you aren't accidentally digging a new hole while you're trying to climb out of the old one, we use step 4, friction engineering. This is a behavioral economics concept that's all about creating a deliberate pause between an impulse and an action. You have to stop accumulating new debt while paying off the old. Literally put your credit card in a Ziploc bag with water and freeze it in a block of ice if you have to. That intentional pause, that physical barrier you just engineered, that is exactly where your financial decisions instantly improve. Let's move to step 5 and see how this builds your momentum to a totally unstoppable level. Generate new income. Honestly, I don't care if it's temporary. Sell unused items, pick up additional hours at work, offer a skill-based service to your network. Why does this matter so much? Because every single extra dollar you direct at that debt does way more than just reduce your balance and shorten your timeline. It fiercely rebuilds your sense of agency. It proves that you are back in the driver's seat. That feeling of control is exactly what debt was designed to take from you. It's time to take it back.
Which brings us to part 3, the prognosis and reclaiming your freedom. I want you to take a deep breath here. Just ground yourself in this reality for a second. Escaping this trap is completely 100% achievable for you. You don't need to be uniquely talented, and you don't need to be relentlessly disciplined. You just needed to understand the game before playing it. Which brings us to a really critical question. Now that you clearly see the trap, and more importantly, now that you see the exit, will you choose to outsmart the system and reclaim your financial agency? Remember, being in debt is not proof that you failed. It is simply proof you were handed a rigged system. But now you know the rules. Now you know exactly how to beat the game.
And you know, that is exactly what this explainer is all about. WealthMind exists for moments exactly like this one. If this gave you some clarity today, please share it with someone in your life who might be quietly struggling. Give them the exit strategy, and be sure to subscribe to WealthMind so you never miss the insights the financial industry honestly hopes you never find. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to ask yourself this. The next time you swipe a card, are you buying a product or are you just buying your own cage? Think rich, live free.